We're joined by Ray Wang. He is the founder and CEO of Constellation Research. Ray, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. You know, I am so jealous. I really want to go to CES one year. And, you know, we always have this big question that we have to start out with. A gathering like that, I mean, which innovative area do you go to do your story? Because there's so much out there. Which do you think are going to have the most significant impact on consumers, the tech market? What are people talking about?
Well, Sean, I'm literally 1,000 feet away from Mark on the other side, and I can tell you that, you know, the innovations here are being embedded. You see a lot of AI, which is really creating ambient experiences. And what I mean is they're little nudges. They get really smart. They get to know you. They understand your behavior, and they make suggestions. And the more you respond, the smarter they get to. You've got automation devices, anything from your ability to get an automated pool cleaner to an automated vacuum to an automated lawnmower. They're using the same technologies there, but now these things are getting smarter. They can go through edges. They can go through different types of elevations. You've got wearables there that are changing from smart glasses that actually provide you a teleprompter in line inside. I was going to try one today, but I realized I didn't have all the stuff ready to go, right? And of course, it's about the gadgets and the electronics, whether it's health and of course the mini LEDs, which are super hot. You've got a Samsung Frame Pro TV that's literally like using, it's literally an art studio like in front of you. You can literally put any picture there and hang it and you would never know the difference. Wow. You've got a Hisense that has a 136-inch mini LED that's getting people really excited about what they can do with their wall space. So lots of innovations for consumers and of course, lots of interesting edge cases on the enterprise.
I want to kind of stay on the topic of AI for just a second. Let's talk a little bit more about the examples of artificial intelligence that are being integrated into consumer electronics that people are going to find useful, because this is just exploding. It's become, you know, it was this big 2 years ago, this big last year, and now it's as big as this room.
You're exactly right, Sean, right? Take Google. They've got Gemini and their AI-powered assistants. And you can say simple things like, hey, Google, start movie night. And suddenly the lights go down, the temperature gets a little colder, all your side lighting changes, the adjustments are there, and you've basically turned the TV into a smart controller. You've got this thing called the Circular Ring 2, right? And if you want an atrial fibrillation detector, it's now competing with Oura Ring and Samsung Galaxy Ring, and it's testing your sleep patterns, understanding your REM, figuring out your heart rates. Right? So all these things are being embedded in the background. And so I think AI is going to be that assistance in the background. It's why I call those ambient experiences, because they're in the background, personalization that's happening, and it's really tailored just to you.
That's amazing. Okay, let's talk about self-driving cars, a little more about smart home devices, health tech, hot topics last year. I presume these have all evolved to a great degree as well.
I think if you were here last year and you look and be able to see the future this year, you could see the big difference. Things are smaller, they use less power, a lot easier to use, it's less clunky, and more importantly, the AI angle is completely embedded everywhere. And a great example of this is, you know, Sony and Honda actually building a car. It's real. You feel a car, it's real. It's got a price tag. It's $90,000. And people are looking at it and trying to figure out, okay, well, I got self-driving cars. Smart home device-wise and health tech, what you're starting to see is the convergence of the personalization that you have with the devices that you're in, and all those networks are being built. So suddenly you're in the Apple ecosystem, or you're in the Samsung ecosystem, or the Google ecosystem, and on. And you'll continue to see that going forward as people try to link all those devices to understand what you're doing and to help you actually improve your health or improve your actions or even change the way you actually look at your life.
Wow. You know, I remember when these things used to just be video games and some very minor things, but just looking on our screen at what's available now. So, and sustainability is also a huge focus of the tech industry. Is CES showcasing the sustainable trend?
It is, and actually that's a great point. If we went back 3 years ago, Toyota had this concept of taking one of their factories and turn it into a laboratory for sustainability, and it's actually open now. And so they've opened Toyota's Woven City. It's actually their living laboratory that people are actually looking at the moment, and you're starting to see that. And of course, I think people are very interested in sustainability, but they're also going to be interested in terms of what kind of food goes into their body. A lot of conversations about ultra high processed foods, and so you're starting to see interesting tests and test kits out there to help you understand, is your food safe? And that's coming to the consumer level soon too as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to tee one up here and knock it out of the park. Tell me about the next big things that we should all be keeping an eye on.
Sean, I think we're going to see more of this ambient experience in an augmented world. And what I mean by that is think about brainwave controls for prosthetics. Think about the ability to actually bite mods and augmentation for sight or for hearing or even for memory. Those things are just around the corner as we look at material science, biochemistry, and of course, computer science. They are converging at a faster rate than we can imagine.